watching the pandemic unfold before our eyes here, we're all hearing about how chronic disease states seem to be really a problem for those who have underlying health conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, including things like high blood pressure, have a greater likelihood of having more severe symptoms in the event they do contract COVID-19. So with that being said, it's always advantageous to make sure that we're doing everything in our power that if you do happen to have an underlying chronic disease, that you are staying on top of that, that you are, obviously, if you are on medications, that you're taking your medications as prescribed, but that you're also doing the right things when it comes to diet, that you're getting proper nutrients in your daily routine, that you are taking things like probiotic and magnesium, zinc, vitamin D, vitamin C. We know all of these things are incredibly important during this time, in particular for those who happen to have chronic underlying health conditions. But I also want people to be aware of the fact that it's really critical to maintain your health while at home. And for many folks out there, it may be more difficult right now to get in to see your doctor. Maybe they're limiting visits to, really just people who are coming down with symptoms of COVID-19, and maybe they're not doing the traditional blood testing that maybe you're accustomed to. Maybe you already had blood testing set up for this month and it's been canceled or postponed. But you still have to make sure that if you have a chronic condition that you are maintaining that. Now, one interesting thing that we offer at Invite Health through our Invite Fitness Health program, which is really quite cool. So I certainly encourage you to check out our website, invitehealth.com, and then you'll see our fitness section. In our fitness section, you will see that we have some really nice things to offer you up some assistance for at-home testing. So things like blood pressure. And we have this line called iHealth. And it's really nifty in the sense that you can just hook it up to your smartphone and it can give you kind of a log of your current blood pressures. So it's a traditional blood pressure cuff. And the way that you utilize it is that you hook it up to your arm, but it's also hooked directly to your smartphone. And you can assess how well your blood pressure is being controlled while you're at home. And this is actually really important, even outside of the pandemic. And the reason why is studies have shown that those who happen to have hypertension or high blood pressure actually do much better with the more frequent at-home monitoring. So you can actually do a much more justified way of controlling your blood pressure when you actually test on a frequent basis from home. A lot of times when people have high blood pressure, they have concerns about, I don't want to test because I feel like if I test, my pressure is going to be high, and you get real kind of anxious. This is common. We know this. We know that there is something known as white coat hypertension, for example, where as soon as you walk into the doctor's office, your blood pressure shoots through the roof, and then they say, oh, well, you need to be on a blood pressure medication, and that may be warranted. However, we also know that the more that we can control our adrenal response to the stress of taking and testing our blood pressure, the better off we do in terms of long-term management of our blood pressure. So the fact that we have this available to you, so you can actually just order this from us directly, and you'll have a means for testing and monitoring your blood pressure from home. And it's very, very easy to do. And what's really nice about this is that it's going to keep a log for you. So you can kind of see during the day different times where maybe you have more of a tendency to have elevated blood pressure. And this gives you a lot of insight because this may be reasons why you can change your diet, or maybe you'll find that doing exercise at certain times helps to better manage your blood pressure. Or maybe you'll find that you're not getting enough magnesium, or perhaps something like the Cardio HX would be beneficial for you, having that blend of taurine and magnesium and hawthorn extract. So having the ability to test and monitor your blood pressure from home is really quite advantageous, even for those who have never been told that they have an issue with blood pressure. It's always good to keep track of your own health. I always say, no one knows your health better than you do. And oftentimes we put an awful lot of stock into just going in for an annual physical when we really need to take more control of our own health. And we're the ones that drive our own health bus. So the more that you know and the more that you stay on top of your health, the better off you are. Now, we also have for you a really wonderful way to assess your blood glucose. So for those who maybe have been diagnosed as having type 2 diabetes, or maybe you've been told in the past that you have metabolic syndrome or insulin sensitivity, or maybe you're a pre-diabetic along with the other 80 million plus Americans out there, it's really wise to always stay on top of what your blood glucose is doing. Now, keep in mind, looking at your blood glucose is that snapshot in time. It's what your blood sugar is doing during that window. So long-term control, we always want to look at hemoglobin A1C because that's going to look at the rate of glycation over the lifespan of your red blood cell, which is approximately 120 days. So that's always a good thing. So testing your hemoglobin A1C, even if you're not a diabetic, I always encourage that because it lets you know how well your body does in terms of regulating your blood glucose. But we also have that iHealth glucose monitor, so you can actually test your blood sugar from home. And for a lot of folks out there, they do have that concern. You can't go into your doctor right now, maybe, or maybe you just are kind of feeling like you've been more stressed out. No, that stress drives up cortisol, and cortisol can have a negative impact on our insulin response. So it's really advantageous to monitor your glucose as well as your blood pressure during this time. And I can't stress that enough, especially for those who do have underlying health conditions. So definitely make yourself familiar with our Invite Health Fitness. We have so many wonderful products that are available for you, from things for cooking to things to help with weight loss. We even have something really wonderful that I'm going to tell you about tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow. I have a really interesting thing that I'm going to share with you that can be beneficial for you, for your family, for your friends, for everyone out there that has concerns with trying to maintain your health during this time. Now, do keep in mind, we have our stores open and running smoothly, and we are offering our curbside checkout available for you. So it's just so easy. Just stop by the store and have your products ready for you. Just kind of grab them, go, and you are on your way to health. And that's always a good thing. Keep in mind also, we have daily podcasts as well as our radio programs. So stay on top of the latest in health and nutrition by tuning into our programs, as well as staying tuned for my next edition here, which is going to be tomorrow at 11. So I'm going to tell you about something really, really cool. Hopefully you will tune in. And for me right now, I'm going to get out of here because I have things that I have to do. I have emails to answer because you guys have questions, and that's what we are here to do. We are here to help you help yourself. So for me, thank you so very much.